his technical delivery, which didn't work and failed.
He showed zero value for the client.
You need to practice this.
I used to call this sales prevention.
He should have done some kind of apology.
Just because it didn't bite you here doesn't mean you should continue to do it.
She tried to help him out. Let's hear how this goes.
Okay.
Cash call, everybody. Dale Archdekin, Brian Curtis, back for another week. Brian, here's what I got today, man. Got a call that the agent completely botched the buyer agency, conversation. And in fact, when I asked him about it, he was like, well, I've been out on these showings and they're a waste of time if people won't sign for longer with you. So he almost literally intentionally torpedoed it. Nice. So, yeah. So, there's one part about it, which is his technical delivery, which didn't work and failed. And then there's just that I want to talk about is the perspective that wasn't working either, which is going out on these, individual showings is a waste of time. I'm going to make sure somebody's committed to me before I go see them. That just doesn't work these days in this environment for the most part with strangers. What do you got?
So I've got a call that when you look at it on its surface, it again kind of seems okay. And we won't seem okay to you because there's just so many, I don't know how you say it. If this is 100%, we try to get there. Well, we could just never quite get there. And it's just it's really an opportunity to say there's so much room to just get a little bit better. Because on its surface, this isn't horrible, but I also don't know if we're going to get a deal out of it. So I guess in that way it was. But it's a pretty interesting call.
I'm ready to get right into this. This is a little difficult. It's a 5-minute, 38-second call. I'm just going to play the whole thing. Okay?
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. You are next. Hey, you'll connect me with you. Regarding the property over there in Avon, 3 Australia Drive. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. So you were wanting to do that today, correct?
We'd like to, if that's possible.
Yeah, definitely. Let me check with the sellers. Obviously, just because it looks like they are still living there, I believe. So I just want to make sure that they've got a couple of times available. Is there a couple of times today that might work for you?
We are currently visiting family, and planned, to leave early afternoon. So, anytime after noon, would be available between noon and 2 or 2:30, something like that.
Okay, awesome. I will definitely check with them. What did you like about this house?
The location. We're trying to find a property between, and we've got grandkids there.
I'm going to skip forward a little bit, right? When we get to the BBA or the buyer broker relationship agreement or the touring agreement, that's when the things break.
Gotcha. So far, he seems to be doing pretty decent.
Yeah. So far, he's doing good, right? The only critique I would give is he should match her first word. She said hello, he said hi, but really small. And then he did a good job by saying, let me check with the sellers. But then he went on to say, I think they're still living there. If he were the listing agent, he would know whether or not they lived there. So that would be a tell for a lead who's concerned about listing agent. So that's kind of a hidden mistake that he did, which didn't cause a problem in this call, but could cause a problem in other calls.
Yeah, I think it's really important for people to understand that. Dal and I, you talk about that. We talk about that all the time. Just because it didn't bite you here doesn't mean you should continue to do it.
Right.
How soon are you looking to move?
We've got some flexibility. We don't need to be over here for probably a year, but if we find something that is really what we want, we would be ready to buy it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
So it's a good spot to be in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously when you're not rushed, that's always a plus for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I will definitely, let me just, once I get off the phone with you, I'm going to double check with the seller on some time. Now, are you aware of what agents have to do now to show property?
Wasn't bad.
A little clunky, but yeah.
A little clunky, maybe missing a couple parts.
When you're trying to introduce a new concept conceptually, you should have a smooth script for that. Because again, Dale and I talk about this, we don't want a bunch of scripts, but this is something you're almost going to say every single time you meet a new person. Build a script around it. It's okay.
Yep. Let me back up here.
Get off the phone with you. I'm going to double check with the seller on some time. Now, are you aware of what agents have to do now to show property?
No.
No problem. There was just most people aren't aware. There was just a rule change across the United States as of July 1st of last year. Whereas we just have to have a disclosure sign now to be able to legally show somebody a property. And really all that entails is just how long I would work for you, my fiduciary obligations towards you ethically, and then how I get paid in the event that you purchase a home. And that's pretty much all it really entails.
Okay. Now, here's what I'll say. He got the pieces in there.
Yes.
He needs more practice, clearly, right? So if you're listening to this, you need to practice this so that it rolls off the tongue, okay? And that way you're not trying to think of what to say, because every single word that you choose actually matters in the way that you deliver it. So just to say this, it sounded very technical and sounded a little more scary than it needs to sound.
And I love that you said that, because that's the thing. Like, this doesn't have to be scary. The more words you use and the more jargon you use, or the anxiety of the buyer can increase, or this, whatever the case may be. Let me point out something that I really like that he did. This is the first call that we've listened to in a long time that didn't say it was a law. So he did that right. There was a change. And how much nicer is it? Hey, there was a change back in August versus there was a law. It's better.
Well, I will say this. He did say legally, which is not true. Right. That says so. I would probably get rid of that too. I wouldn't say legal.
Again, there's nothing illegal. Just so you guys know, there's nothing illegal about showing somebody a house without an EBA or exclusive buyer agency agreement or some sort of. You can get trouble. You could lose your license. There's lots of things. You could lose protection of what happened in the lawsuit, but it's not illegal.
So let's hear how she responds.
Okay. So this isn't like a commitment for you to be our realtor. We're just saying that we want you to show us this house today.
She tried to help him out. Let's hear how this goes.
Okay.
So it would be me. So it's an agency agreement. It would be me being your agent and showing you the home. It doesn't hold you accountable to purchase this house or anything like that. It's just that they're trying to mitigate legal issues from people switching basically back and forth from realtors and going to look at houses without anything in writing and stuff like that.
That makes no sense. Right?
That feels like, hey, we're trying to make sure that we're not screwing each other. The clients don't care before screwing each other. They don't. That's not their business.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. But if I wanted to look at another home with another agent, that'd be fine.
So it wouldn't allow you to look. So with it signed, it would just be basically me sending you houses, and then basically you would just be looking at houses with me. Any other agent, they would also have you sign it, have you sign one, and then you would be locked in with them as well.
Locked in with them as well, which means you're locked in with me if you sign this thing, which is not what she wants, clearly, right? This is just going the absolute wrong direction. And when I spoke to this agent, because I was like, wait a minute, that he isn't confused about how this works. He knows how it works. And I said, well, why did you say it this way? And he said, well, I was really busy. And, a lot of these people I just run out and show one house to, they don't end up buying anything, and I waste my time. And I was trying to get her to stick with me. And I'm like, that's what blew this conversation up, because this is a brand new stranger who does not want to do something like that. You didn't explain it in any way that would make it anywhere beneficial to her, like any advantage to her to stick with you. And so it just totally blew this conversation up.
Yeah, it really did. This is the key for me. He showed zero value for the client in signing the document.
Right.
I'm not signing anything. It's not in my best interest, right?
Of course not.
But the agents, we seem to forget that for some reason.
Right. What do I get out of that as the consumer? So we'll hear how this goes down the drain.
Okay. We're not ready to be locked in. I mean, I haven't even met you, so I wouldn't be ready to do that with you. So if I need to sign that in order to see the house today, I don't think that we're ready to do that.
Okay. Not a problem. I totally understand that. We can definitely, in the future, if you definitely become more serious, we can definitely revisit that. To be able to legally see a property, we do have to have a disclosure sign. I don't have too much of a say around that.
Okay, I understand. Okay. Thanks for the information, Sam.
Not a problem. Have a great rest of your day.
And that is how you lose a $300 lead.
All right, now I'm going to go back in time. August 16th, 2014 or 2024. So the day before this thing happened. Would this agent have required this person to sign a buyer agency agreement before he went and showed a house?
No, it would have gone and showed the house.
Why are we changing gears on that? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
a really interesting concept. Is
Wow.
I didn't know we were going to come back here, but I used to call this sales prevention. This is what they actually called this. When somebody would pre-qual somebody hard on the phone and then end up not going to show the house because the person hadn't been, whatever threshold this person decided, hadn't been pre-approved, hadn't sent them whatever it was, and they would talk themselves out of meeting somebody, and then that person would go buy a house with me or you.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
have
what
a funny,
happened.
I have a funny story about that, actually. Unfortunately, to have to throw my wife under the bus for this one, we had an inquiry that came in one time from a buyer. So Carmel is talking to them. I think it was like on one of our listings or something, or it was this, I don't know how we got it, but it was like a sign call. And so she's pre-qualing the person, and they're like, yeah, I work as a professional chef. My boss is going to be buying the house for me, and I want to go see this house. Are you pre-qualified? No, blah, 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 right? And so my wife is like, I'm not showing this property to her. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, we need business. I'm going to go show this house, right? So we pack up in the car, drive over there. I meet this buyer, and it turns out that she's legit. She really is the personal chef of a really rich dude who bought the damn house for her, and I was like, wow, like that, there was another sale that we got that my wife was going to toss back into the lake. You know what I mean? Where it was like, that's a waste of my time. I spoke to this agent and he said, I've wasted my time with these people who go and look at houses and don't buy. I wanted to get her tied to me before I invested my time. Sometimes you can't do that. In a lot of cases, you can't do that. Part of the sale is getting in front of people and getting them to feel comfortable with you, building rapport with you, and then trusting you enough that they'll, reveal what they're really going to do or use you. Because, in reality, Brian, I don't know about you, but pretty much every single person, myself included, does not like dealing with salespeople.
I'm not a big fan.
No. And when you find a salesperson that's good enough, or you find a salesperson you don't hate, you're going to stick with that one because you don't want to bother with any of the other ones, right?
62% of people work with the first agent they meet.
Yeah, exactly.
The first agent they talk to, the first agent they meet. So even if you're horrible, you got a 62% chance if you simply show up.
Simply show up. And more of those, you will end up with better results. And I can tell you this, if you're running out and showing houses to people and then they're ghosting you and they aren't responding to you or they never go further with you, it's something about your sales process. It's not them. Once or twice, yes. But a lot of them, no, it's you. And you got to figure out what you're doing or not doing that is causing you to lose the sale.
I've got this thought running in my head. It's not you, it's me. Like, that's what I'm hearing, like some kind of bad sitcom, right?
Yeah, it's like
break up with somebody.
It's like this thing that we always say, like, if you look around and everybody's crazy, it's you in general. If everybody's crazy, it's you.
Right. Because everybody else seems to think this is acceptable. You're the odd person out, right? And I love that. That's fun. I'm kind of a little vexed here. I feel like we could probably spend another 30 minutes talking about this. I don't necessarily want to. And I did want to just cover some things in case if we've got just a minute. There's the concept of dating. So if somebody's really hardcore, I'm not going to make a commitment to you. I've gone to, great. I'm just going to use an analogy here for you, Dell. Could we date? And here's what I mean by that. I can set this up so that I can show you this house and we can have a very short time period in which we work together. And then you can decide that at that time period, whether you want to move forward with me. And I would appreciate that. I also have another option that a lot of my clients take, and they seem to make them very comfortable. I have this deal where you can fire me. I understand some people don't like to fire people. So realistically, this is what I'm willing to do. If you want to fire me, you can send me a text message. Just say, Brian, you're fired. I'm going to ask you why, but you can fire me. So, because here's the thing, I'm hoping when I get there, I'm so good they forget this entire conversation. And by the way, I was. I mean, I don't know about you, Dal, but full disclosure to all our audience, I don't think I had, until the company I was working for required me to do it, I don't think in 500 sales that I probably did 3 exclusive buyer agency agreements.
Wow.
Like, I just showed up. I just worked with people. I gave value. I didn't have them sign buyer agency agreements. It's not what we did. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. And in hindsight, would have I done it differently? Maybe. But at the end of the day, my point is, if you show value to this potential client, they will not be worried about paying you. That's what they want.
Yep. Absolutely. Good. Well, let's play yours.
So this call, it's a realtor.com call that was transferred. So the front end of it is a little chopped off because it's just a bunch of talking. And one of the things that I've noticed with these transfers is they're not super smooth on, hey, let's do a good intro script. So I kind of skip that when it comes to these. So we're starting past the intro script and where the person's at.
So they mentioned you had your eye on a place in is that correct?
That's right.
Did you guys want to do a tour of it, or did you have some questions about it?
I don't live in. I just had one question. I sent an email reply, and I've had 3 phone calls and 2 emails in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, it looks like you have a thought there, so I was just going to pause that for a second.
Yeah, she just illuminated the problem that happens with this transfer kind of stuff if they don't have their stuff together. And she's frustrated. So let's hear how he handles this. I heard him laugh.
Okay. What was your question?
So it's a 3-bedroom kind of a condo in a condo.
Okay, listen, she's annoyed. Now you've laughed, said, what's your question? He should have done some kind of apology. You are the representative of whatever shit show she just came through, even if you have no control over it. So you better damn well apologize for it and demonstrate that you understand the frustration.
I'm going to say a thing, Dale, and I'm just going to ask you to demonstrate an apology. And that sounds like that I'm asking like our audience is 12. And the reason I'm saying it, the majority of the time, I don't get an apology when people do it. I get blame on the system. And so, I mean, what do you look like for an apology on something like that?
Yeah. So say what she said to me.
Hey, I've been dealing with this. I've sent multiple emails and I just have a question. I can't seem to get an answer.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. That's really frustrating. Okay. I'm going to get that answer for you. What question do you have?
I want you guys to note when Dale did that, listen to his tone, listen to how he said it. He didn't go, all right, shit. Da, da, da. He empathized. He said, I'm really sorry. You know, like he didn't do it that extreme, but that's what he was doing. So the person could feel that he gave a damn. And I think
got slightly annoyed too, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm going to
yeah, sorry. That's
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you want, man. It'll cure that for them because he still hasn't fixed this. He still represents the stupid system that pissed her off, right? And he's just another part of it until he fixes it. Now, some people will let it go. Some people won't. I think the really bad ones are the ones who are still stuck on it and pissed, but don't tell you. They're the hardest ones to deal with.
Right. Because you don't know what the objection is, but they just won't give it to you. They just want to be pissed. That's a hard to overcome, right? So, you know, it's funny when you talk about that. I can think back to days, you and I both know this, an agent who used to do this, but he would call expireds and the expireds would start yelling at him and he'd go, yeah, that really pisses me off too. Just like that. And they would go, all right. And they would literally switch gears, not 100% of the time, but they would literally switch gears. And it was like, oh, you're on my team. And I'm not, but I'm going to tell you I'm on your team. So American matching is a real thing, guys. If you haven't tried it, if you're doing things like calling expireds or you're getting people on the phone who are pissed off, be pissed off with them. It works pretty well.
The building, it looks like.
Yeah.
Concern is that a 3-bedroom, if I have 3 renters, is there a place for 3 cars to park?
Let me check on those. I see there's a 1-car garage and a spot behind it. Let me see if I can get a better aerial map. So yeah, it's frustrating when you can't park. Oh, I'd actually shown this place before.
So I'm just going to let Dale shake his head. I'm going to tell you guys what he was going to say. This is another example of how you proved you're not the listing agent. So I'll just pay it for it.
All right, wait, I'm going to give you all listening here a script for when you don't know things, okay? Here's your script. Brian, ask me about parking 3 cars back there.
Hey, can I park 3 cars there? I've got 3 cars and I need to be able to park all 3.
Yeah, you know, I hate to say that you can, probably, but I don't want to mislead you. I want to make sure that we get the right information. So I'll check with the sellers just to make sure that's possible. Do you have any other questions that I could get answered at the same time?
Yeah. I could have also gone this way. Hey, you know what? I need to check the covenants on that. I know that there is potentially room for that, but I want to make sure that's something you can even do. So I'm going to check on the covenants on that. Then I'll get back to you. Is there any other questions? So I can blame it. I mean, it's not an illogical question to say you're buying a 3-bedroom home. Can I park 3 cars in a condo? Like, I don't know that I would have known the answer to that question. And it doesn't seem an unreasonable thing for me to not know.
Listen, first of all, everybody listening to this, Brian and I have no idea what the hell property we're talking about right now. And it doesn't matter. And I want to say this, even if we were the listing agents, we might not know anyway, whether you could even,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Out there.
Right. Even if I had gone and sat with that person, walked the property, taken the listing myself, been with the photographer, I still might not know the answer to that and still have to check on it. So the point is that you can deflect. This is just the easiest way to handle things like that instead of getting into the mud. And this guy is potentially going to create more problems for himself than he had to in the way that he's answering it.
I want to point something else out that you could have potentially done here with the same thing is, So what I heard you say, I don't remember her name, what I heard you say, Susie, is that you're going to rent this to 3 college students. And one of the things, I'll be honest, there's rules inside of condos with percentages and all kinds of different things, rules. I'm not 100% sure that we can do that. Again, I need to go reference the covenants. And then all I can do is switch in discovery right after that, right?
Yep.
So if this property doesn't end up working for you, what exactly? Because I just told her why it might not. I was told a very legitimate reason. Some people won't let you have, some condo associations won't let you have 3 tenants inside of a condo.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Where else does this go? I'm curious.
Goes straight to hell in a handbasket. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so there is quite a decent sized parking lot. With park, obviously if there's one car in the garage and one behind it, you aren't going to be able to get that car out of the garage without moving the first one. But there's 2 spots plus the garage.
Are the 2 spots next to each other behind the garage, or are they along the building behind it?
So they're in front of the unit. And then if other people, a lot of people just have one car, if the parking lot's empty, you can really park wherever you want over there.
So one of the things agents try to do all the time is solve problems that they can't solve. Stop it.
Yeah.
This
Right.
is what it is. They can either have 3 people and 3 cars here, or they can't. And still has nothing to do with anything down there I'm talking about.
Yeah. And Brian, who controls the sale?
Hopefully the agent, but right now, not the case.
Yeah. What I mean is tell the audience who controls the sale in a conversation.
Oh, the person who's asking the questions is the one who's
The person asking the questions. So right now the lead is in control of this damn sale, and the salesperson's completely out of control because he's not asking the question. He needs to get that microphone back into her hands so she's doing the talking.
You're absolutely right. Let's see how he doesn't do that.
Yeah, I'm worried about if I have 3 renters of 3 cars, the implications of, having to move 2 cars every time the car in the garage wants to get out, or, whatever.
Right. Would this be something for you, or do you have someone going to school here?
She just told him exactly what she wanted to do with the property, and then he turned around and said, "Is this for you?" The number one process to do discoveries, you have to listen first. Go ahead, Dan.
True, yeah. She said 3 people going to college, is what she said?
I'll ride it a little bit. I don't know that part exactly, but basically she's going to rent it out to 3 people is the concept. And
okay.
Yeah, so let's listen to it.
Having to move 2 cars every time the car in the garage wants to get out, or, whatever.
Right. Would this be something for you, or do you have someone going to school here? What does that look like?
Not for me, just as an investment rental property.
Okay. Well, where are you living now?
Opportunity for discovery. When they say they're buying an investment property, I don't care if they live on the surface of the sun or next door to it. It doesn't matter. That's not the question you ask, right?
No, that's not the question you ask. What usually my first go-to questions for investors is, do you already own any properties? How many units do you have? And what's your budget? Right? Because if you can't answer those 2 questions, you probably aren't buying an investment property.
Right. If you want to go deeper, you can start talking about things like, are you after a specific ROI, after a specific cap rate? Don't ask those questions if you don't know what those things mean, but you should know what those things mean. You're a real estate agent. We're going to play a little bit more of this, see where it goes. And honestly, it's not that long of a call, but we have plenty of feedback for it. So it's going a little bit longer than I think we expected.
Okay. So that's kind of a far drive to look at a property. I do work with a lot of out-of-state clients. I kind of started doing that just because a lot of people are coming here for school or work. So I'd be happy to do a tour with just me, where I take like a video walkthrough for you.
Yeah, my son and daughter-in-law lived in just north of.
Okay.
And so we were going to buy. They would do a tour of it for us. I mean, I was there last week, and we drove by the unit. But I just need to know that there's places for 3 cars. That's really my big question right now.
I mean, there are. Yes, there are. Is that something they would want to tour with me?
Possibly. I haven't asked them.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about that question right there. There's other things that are wrong, but I want to stop on that question. Don't ask a yes, no question, for the love of God. How about this? I'm going to go and verify how many cars can be there. And after I'm
There we go.
I would like to set up a time for your son to come take a look at that. I have availability both Saturday or Sunday. Which of those days do you think might work better for him?
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Can I pay the house? No.
What? Yeah, it seems pretty obvious, right? Hey, guy, the problem in the way here is the cars. I think he doesn't have much experience talking to investors. Yeah, investors, it's not an emotional thing. Real investors, it's a money real thing. Do the numbers work or do they not? That's how it goes. Is there 3 parking spots? I've already told you 4 times that I'm not interested in that property if there's not 3 spots. Like you said, Brian, go figure out if there's 3 spots and then you can sell it to me.
And you know what you're doing by doing that? You're giving that person value.
Right.
Because we're 2 minutes and 57 seconds into this conversation. She still doesn't know the one thing that she wants to know. And I appreciate that he can't provide it, but he can at least let her know he'll figure it out and give her a time frame and make her happy.
Right.
So I just want to listen to the last 28 seconds of this to see how it closes up, and then we'll down off share our final thoughts here.
Happy to do that. I live in, so it's not a very far commute for me.
Okay.
All right, I got to say one other thing. Nobody gives a rip how far you have to drive. Nobody gives a rip what your schedule is, about your kids, about your dog, about your house. They don't care. Don't tell them that it's convenient for you. They don't care.
Right.
Well, I've got some other properties that I'm also that we drove by. So if I have any questions, I'll get back to you and let you know.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll text you with my direct contact so you don't have to go through realtor.com or, whoever you're using. I know that's kind of frustrating. So I'll just send you my direct contact and you can call or text me anytime you like.
That'd be great. Thanks for your help.
All right. Thanks. Have a great day.
So, Dale, this feels like another conversation that was not a sales conversation. It felt like a customer service conversation.
Yep. That was pretty customer servicey. And you know what I would do is I'd play the call for this guy and I'd say, what's that, Brian?
It's on my list of things to do. I promise.
Yeah. So here's what I do. I play the call for him, have him listen to it. And then at the end, I ask him, what do you know about this person? Tell me everything you know, so that he very quickly figures out he doesn't know about this person. And he left out a whole lot of questions he should have been asking.
Yep.
There was virtually no discovery that she didn't offer up herself. I think he asked 1 question. No, 2. Is this for you? Do you live in this area?
Yeah.
That was it. That's all he asked.
Yeah. I have no idea what her budget is. This woman, theoretically, I don't think it's the case, but theoretically, she could own 500 rental properties across the country, right? I don't think it's true, but that's a possibility. The reason I don't know the answer to that question is because we didn't ask it. This person could be saying, hey, I really want to move to this area because the area that they're talking about is A, a college town, and B, it's expanding quickly. Hey, I think this area is amazing. It's going to start booming. I really want to buy a bunch of property here and move my property from Tennessee over here. Great. I'm going to do 1031 exchanges. But those are the kind of questions that if you don't ask them, you just don't have an answer to.
Yep. That's a shame. All right. I think that's good for today. Brian, everybody, thanks for joining us on Cash Call today. Dale Archdekin and Brian Curtis will be back again next week. Hey, if you're really enjoying this information and you want some more help for you specifically, 2 things you can do. Click the links below. You can either submit one of your calls and we can play them here and give you feedback, free coaching from 2 veteran sales trainers. Or also, I have a couple of options below where you can get in and get some free training from us and get introduced to our community of other agents and team leaders who are crushing it these days in real estate sales and improving their ability to convert leads, book more appointments, and close more deals.